First things first, let's give our praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to all the true worshippers, worshiping in spirit and in truth, to await the elect of the nation of Israel, which are you so-called Native Americans, Hispanics, Latinos, and you so-called blacks, are the true biblical Israelites. Alright. Also, the RFID microchip is the MOTB, the mark. Alright. And we're gonna get into that today. Alright. Also, World War III is imminent, and our big brother Yahushai is what we were mostly waiting for, yo. And he's gonna arrive, Our salvation draw nigh, Judgment for those who will accept the mark, and salvation for those who stood stiffly, refusing to be a part of this anti-Amashiach system, yo. Alright. Now, without further ado, we're gonna go into this video about 2 minutes in, and then we'll get some scriptures, showing what the MOTB is, the mark, and Lord's willing, this lesson will be short, spicy, and edifying most of all. Let's begin.
Friends, welcome. The mark is here. Iran is set to be the first country to roll out a biometric digital ID needed in order to buy food. Needed in order to eat. Right? Needed in order to survive. You must go get your digital ID from the government. The same digital ID that central banks are telling us is needed in order to roll out the central bank digital currencies. The same digital ID that the World Economic Forum establishes is at the very crux of this fourth industrial revolution. Yeah, all of that. Now you need to go get your ID in order to eat. Now there's some interesting details about the way Iran is implementing this that I want to walk through today, because I think this is a bellwether for how it's going to be rolled out around the rest of the world. And make no mistake, this is food rationing based on your digital ID. So read down here. You're able to buy as much bread as you want, but if you want to get the subsidized prices, then you're going to need the ID. Then you'll have access to, quote, a limited amount of bread at subsidized prices. And you can keep buying the rest at market rates if you want, right? You can buy as much bread for $1 million a loaf as you want. But for the 50% of Iran that lives below the poverty line, that's not an option, right? Their only option is to go get in line and accept this mark, this digital biometric ID, to which all resources are being tied. Not just bread, but according here, the scheme will later include all goods such as chicken, cheese, vegetable oil, and so on and so forth. So this is a pretty big deal. Let's talk about it. I'm Christian, and this is the Ice Age Farmer broadcast. And there's a lot to this story, from the fact that they cut off the internet for regular users, to the fact that there have been already fatal food riots and protests. So let's break it down. Here from Reuters: soaring bread prices spark protests and shop fires in Iran. May 13th, soaring bread prices have triggered protests in which some shops were set on fire, encouraging 22 arrests. The protests were triggered by a cut in subsidies for wheat that caused price hikes as high as 300% for flour-based staples. The inflation rate in Iran is already 40 to 50%, depending on who's counting, and half of 82 million people there are already living below the poverty line. So digging in further, the cut on bread subsidies is something that the Iranian government says we have to do it. We can't just keep subsidizing all bread forever. So what we're going to do now is just subsidize a little bit of bread for everyone that has this ID. Quote, the government will offer citizens digital coupons. That's the way they dress it up. Digital-friendly coupons with a smiley face on it that will allow them to access a limited amount of bread at subsidized prices. The rest will be available at market rates, right? You can buy as much as you want, as long as you pay exorbitant prices for it. As long as you're a millionaire, you can do whatever you want. This scheme will be enforced within 2 months.
So in other words, prices for food, I'm not going to just talk about bread. specifically a bread, but as he said, it will trickle down into everything else, but prices for food are getting high, at an all-time high, cost of living, all of that. Now they're saying the price for the bread, to get it cheaper, you have to accept that digital ID, get your digital ID and get your digital coupons and go digital, which is all leading to the MOTB, the mark, which is the RFID micro, micro implant, that goes in your arm, and we have an image of that that you see for those who don't already know what that looks like. Image coming up soon, all right? So they're using food as a way to get through to people, and what better way than to use people's bellies, for majority things that man only lives by bread alone, Only the Lord elects knows that man don't live by bread alone, all right? Thus say the Lord. Let's continue.
The scheme will later be expanded to include other goods like chicken, cheese, and vegetable oil, according to officials. Raisi extolled the benefits of reforming these subsidy scheme, finally covering everything from oil to bread. It's many cash-strapped Iranians already rely on this. So what better vector to force you to get your digital ID than with food? The price of wheat on the global market has jumped.
Yeah, people that are strapped for cash. That is why this is mainly for now, but for the 50% of Iran that's below the poverty line. They're attacking poor people first. Yeah, precept that we'll get into will tell you that rich and poor, both rich and poor, the beast calls it both rich and poor. All right, but the poor people are most vulnerable. So they are going to be attacked. They are going to be coerced and enforced first, and that is what this is saying.
Since the start of the Russian conflict with Ukraine, adding to the cost of subsidies. Of course, that's getting even worse this week as India announces they're going to completely ban all exports of wheat. Putting that aside, this has sent wheat up back again to a fresh high, a
We're gonna pause the video right there, you can see the name of this video. It's easy to find on YouTube, even if I don't leave a link below. But yeah, you can finish this whole video, or they find the article for yourself, Want to get some scriptures right now. Our first scripture is Revelation 13, verse 16. It says, "And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads." Now, when the precept said he causeth, he creates scenarios, situations, not even scenarios, for this is real, situations where you think you're being forced, but you think you're the one making the choice, Esau is so slick the way he manipulates people, but they have and that's where this engineered famine is coming in, That's why the engineering famine, to force you people to take the mark, to take their chip, to force you people on their digital grid, the digital platform, the digital system, Remember, there are signs all over. You can see that the world is going digital. Every country is talking about a central bank digital currency, Every country is rolling out. Jamaica has rolled out theirs, So, let's continue. It says, free and bond. Yes, let's start at rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark. And we're going to go into the word mark. It says a stamp, an imprinted mark. The mark of stamped on the forehead or the right hand as the badge of followers of the anti-Mashiach. Anti-Mashiach is anything anti-Mashiach, aka Antichrist, is anything that is against the Lord, yo. This system, this entire world is anti-Christ, yo. Alright. Let's see definition B says the mark branded upon horses. Yes, to show ownership. People brand their cattle, their animals, their horse to show ownership, yo. Alright. When we go into the word, wait, we'll go back. Yes, car agma. That's the transliteration for the word mark in Greek. Yeah, in Greek. Charagma. And we will go into that word now, charagma. It derives from the word charax, which means a pale or a stake. A pale or a stake. A palisade. Alright, and let me show you what that looks like now. This is where we go to the image. Alright, this right here, this is the MOTB, the chip. See, it's as small as a rice grain, yo. Now the palisade, the stake, is the syringe used to place the chip inside your arm, yo. There it is right away. This is not a joke. This is the end all be all for you people. There it is. That's what John Revelator saw in his visions, yo. Right, when you go into the word charax now, it says to write with reference to the form of letters. And by the way, the word charax came from the word grapho. And again, it means to write, to reference to the form of letters. In other words, it's the mark is something that you are able to store information on. You can receive information off it that has been stored on it, you know. In other words, they're gonna be able to hack your chip, of course, you know. There's no so-called privacy with it, yeah. This is the MOTB, the mark of the, you know. You know what that B means. Alright. Let's finish reading this. Verse 17 says, alright, now let's read. Free and bond to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell. What did the article that the guy was breaking down said? People can't. First they hiked up the prices of bread by 300%, yo. And even here in Jamaica, food prices have gone up so much in the last 2 years. Ever since Crown Royal came on the scene, yo, the food prices has just been jumping up, and so has the gas prices. And gas prices going up is going to cause food prices to go up. And how convenient there is a so-called war, you know. There's a war that increases the gas prices, that is increasing the food prices, that is limiting food around the world, causing people to ration food, which is leading to how convenient for it to lead to a famine, and how even more convenient for that famine to be used to digitally ration food, and and by digital, by bringing in the MOTB, the chip. Yes, it's gonna be started off as a digital ID first, the needs for Jamaica and so on and so forth for other countries, whatever they're calling theirs, but it's all the same anywhere you go. It's a digital ID, a digital framework that is leading up to the MOTB, the chip. That's all it's leading up to, that freaking chip. That's the end all be all, yo. That's their end game, just to get everybody chipped, yo. All right. So it says, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name, yo. We're gonna get our second precept, which is this. Revelation 16 verse 15 says, behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments, yo. Blessed is the men that keep watch and keep warning you people, and detach themselves from this place and from their system and from what they're trying to do, and hold the faith and keep his word, yo. As our garments is the Lord's words, yo. And we dress ourselves up with the Lord's words. His words protect us. His words are our armor. It says, lest he walk naked and they see his shame, yo. And we are not blind, yo. Thanks to the word of the Lord, we are not blind. So we see what's going on, and we're warning you people. You can either take heed or no. All right? This is 2 Peter 3, and straight and to the point. So it says, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of person ought ye to be in all the conversation and godliness? So we watching on and seeing what they're up to, what they're doing, yeah? Their vain agenda, which is to chip everyone, right? What manner of person are ye to be? We see that their goal is to usher the MOTB. So verse 12 says, looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of God, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat, yo. Everyone that takes the mark will melt, yo. Will be dissolved, will be destroyed, yo. Alright, it's no if, no but, no maybe, yo. The last precept I want to get is Revelation 3 and 10. Because this is all we have to do. Easier said than done. But this is all we have to do nonetheless. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. That hour when they're forcing the MOTB, the mark, on us, yo. The Lord is gonna keep us, yo, if we keep his word. It says, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them. So the mark is to try us, yo. That hour of temptation is to try us. Keep his word. That's the only solution. That's the only way through. To try them that dwell upon the earth. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. Your faith. Don't lose your faith. No matter what, Alright, I'm gonna end it right there. As within this lesson was edifying. Once more, let's give our praises to Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, Hashem Rakakadash. Double honors again to the apostles and elders of Graham Stone. Shalom to all the true worshippers. End is near.